Bai Li Changqing's face clearly lit up when he mentioned the reincarnation squad. According to theory, the 6 investigation teams in Blizzard City are of similar strength, and it is hard to say who is stronger. However, if it is confirmed that there are ability users with prophecy abilities in Eclipse Moon, then it would be most appropriate to send the reincarnation squad to deal with them. Zhang Yi curiously asked, "Why?" Bai Li Changqing gave a mysterious smile. "I can't tell you that because it involves the abilities possessed by the members of the reincarnation squad." Zhang Yi laughed. "In fact, after you said that, I can more or less guess a little. But I won't say it either. The names of the investigation teams are not chosen at random, and are mostly related to their characteristics. The Black Robe Investigation Squad and the Heavenly God Squad both have a strong individualistic flavor. Reincarnation Squad. Named after reincarnation. And it also mentions the ability user who can respond well to the Eclipse Moon prophecy. Then, it is most likely related to the law of cause and effect. Either it can restrain the prophecy, or it can change the cause and effect." Bai Li Changqing didn't say anything, and Zhang Yi wouldn't be rude and pry. However, Bai Li Changqing came over mysteriously and said to Zhang Yi, "When they come back, I'll take you over there to have a look. I guarantee that you'll be surprised when you find out who their captain is." "Oh? Really? Let's wait and see." Zhang Yi shrugged his shoulders. He thought to himself, it's nothing more than some celebrity. The two of them chatted as they walked to the weapons warehouse. Zhang Yi handed over his own points card. According to what Major Yan Yun had said before, Zhang Yi's authority level was very high, and he was able to exchange for weapons, equipment, and supplies that were far superior to those of other mutants from the outer cities. Bai Li Changqing said directly, "Don't you want the battle suit? Just tell him directly." He said to the quartermaster who managed the warehouse, "Exchange for the SLDS-2 battle suit." The quartermaster officer looked up Zhang Yi's points and level through the equipment and said calmly, "The SLDS-2 battle suit, 50 million points for redemption, requires permission level 1 or above. You meet the redemption requirements, with 420 million points remaining." Then he saw a new entry in the system data. It was a special project approved by the commander's office. Other people redeeming black battle suits are subject to a quantity limit. Even members of the investigation team cannot apply for a second suit as long as the first one is not damaged. However, this time, Zhu Jing had specially approved Zhang Yi, allowing him to exchange for multiple black battle suits. There is no limit to the number of suits you can exchange. "How many suits would you like to exchange?" the quartermaster asked Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi thought about it for a while, and then asked about Compound 5. "Compound 5, do I have enough authority to exchange for it?" The quartermaster nodded. "For Compound 5, you need level A authority and 100 million points. You meet the redemption requirements. Do you wish to redeem?" Zhang Yi couldn't help but let out a breath. "This thing is even more expensive than the battle suit?" Bai Li Changqing laughed. "As I said, this kind of life-saving thing is not affordable for everyone. Even I only have one copy left. But, after using it once, there basically won't be a next time." Bai Li Changqing laughed heartily. But Zhang Yi always felt that smile to be somewhat bitter, at least that's how it seemed to him. This shows just how great the side effects of Compound 5 must be. But Zhang Yi still chose to redeem a copy. Even if there are great side effects, being able to save your life in a critical moment is very crucial. However, for Zhang Yi, it has another major use. He can take it back to the shelter and let Zhou Qir and Lu Karen analyze its composition to see if they can produce it themselves. But since Compound 5 has already been redeemed, Zhang Yi has become interested in the other compounds. He inquired about the functions and prices of the other compounds. The quartermaster patiently explained each one to Zhang Yi. Compound 1 has the effect of helping people awaken their supernatural abilities. It can increase the probability of awakening, and the success rate is increased by 20%. Redeem 150 million points. Bai Li Changqing whispered a reminder, "It says 20%, but in reality the effect is very mediocre." Zhang Yi nodded, probability, I understand. He had played a lot of card games in the past. Compound 2, the effect is to enhance the abilities of mutants, and can help mutants evolve to a certain extent, but the effect is unpredictable due to the user's own aptitude. Redeem 120 million points. Compound 4, a military stimulant, can enhance the ability strength of mutants by 20% within 12 hours after use. The side effects are significant, and may be accompanied by symptoms such as dizziness, vomiting, and dehydration. Redeem 20 million points. The quartermaster introduced several other compounds. Zhang Yi, however, keenly noticed that Compound 3 did not appear on the list. So, what about Compound 3? He asked. The quartermaster, however, calmly looked at him and said, Compound 3 is not on the redemption list. Oh? Quite mysterious, Bai Li Changqing said to him, the drugs were developed by the research department. Some of the potions have special effects and are not open to the public. Even I don't know their effects, or even if they exist. But these things are so expensive. Zhang Yi couldn't help but sigh. Apart from the stimulants, each dose of the other potions cost over 100 million points. He had thought that with 420 million points in his hands, he should be able to splurge. Unexpectedly, reality is so cruel. Bai Li Changqing winked at him. If you join the investigation team, you can become a full member and get an internal discount on these things. Zhang Yi suddenly understood. The main reason these things are so expensive is that they are open to the public. Ordinary soldiers and civilians in the city, or mutants from the outer city, have to pay a higher price if they want to redeem them. Special forces such as the investigation squad and Yanyan army get a more friendly price. There's nothing you can do about it. It's only natural that there's an internal price for something that they make themselves. Zhang Yi asked quietly, so if you help me exchange it, can I transfer my points to you later? Bai Li Changqing smiled awkwardly. The exchange of these special items is all registered, so it's not very sensible to try to pull any tricks. Zhang Yi helplessly shrugged his shoulders. After weighing up the pros and cons, he finally decided that there was no rush to exchange the black battle suit for the time being. After all, when he went on a mission later, there was no way that old Zhu would begrudge him a set of battle armor. He wanted to exchange the drugs back first and give them to Lu Karen and Zhou Kir for research. So, he exchanged 4 potions, which cost him a total of 390 million points. All of a sudden, he only had 30 million points left. Although it wasn't a small amount, he could get a lot of it by exchanging it for ordinary food and weapons. However, Zhang Yi didn't lack those things in the first place, so there was no need to go shopping. After Zhang Yi had redeemed what he wanted, he thought about going back to Tianhai City first to give these medicines to Lu Karen and Zhou Kir for research. Tianhai City was not far away anyway, and it didn't even take half a day to go back and forth. However, Bai Li Changqing stopped Zhang Yi, who wanted to go back. He smiled mysteriously and said, I think it's better if you meet the people from the reincarnation squad first. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Zhang Yi raised an eyebrow, a playful look on his face. I'm not going to be the captain of that lapdog squad, and even if I have to cooperate with the reincarnation squad, I don't need to be in charge. Brother Bai Li, you should be the captain of this squad. Zhang Yi smiled and patted Bai Li Changqing on the shoulder. Bai Li Changqing smiled bitterly. You think I don't want to? But it's a crime to force yourself to take responsibility if you don't have the ability. He shook his head, and even felt a little remorse in his heart for his initial greed. Apart from you, there's no one more suitable to be the captain of the Tengu squad. Zhang Yi said, Oh? So that's why you wanted me to meet the people from the reincarnation squad? Not just that. Bai Li Changqing's smile grew wider at the corner of his mouth. The main reason is that the captain of the reincarnation squad is my friend. I want to introduce him to you. A friend, is that so? Zhang Yi shrugged. Okay, in that case, there's no harm in meeting him. Bai Li Changqing said, Okay, you come with me. They'll be back today. After you meet him, you should apply to Commander Zhu to return to Tianhai City. Out of respect, you still need to talk to Zhu Jing about it. Zhang Yi didn't have any objections. He stored the medicine in his own dimensional space and left the combat center with Bai Li Changqing. Upon arriving outside, they heard loud noises. Some people were even running happily and forming a large group. Zhang Yi's hearing was still quite good, and he could vaguely hear what they were saying. The reincarnation squad has returned triumphant. They are truly the pride of the common people, and they have once again accomplished their mission brilliantly. Hey, in comparison, the Heavenly God Squad. Who says that only those children of the rich can achieve great things? Our children from ordinary families are no worse than them. Gao Changkong, he is our pride. I've always said that he is much better than Deng Shintong. Zhang Yi watched a group of people wearing jackets cheering. Among them were a group of girls, waving high flags and shouting indistinct slogans. It sounded like something like "I will never forget our promise, I will keep your promise for the rest of my life." Zhang Yi looked a little dumbfounded. At a time like this, there is still such a powerful fandom culture? Zhang Yi pointed at the group of girls running over. Don't they need to find a class to attend? They're so idle. Bai Li Changqing explained, the girls who can run out to greet the reincarnation squad are either from families where their parents work high-end professions and earn enough points to support them, or... Bai Li Changqing thought for a moment, then shrugged helplessly. They're just ordinary people, but they're desperate to chase their idols. They're taking a risk. If they don't earn enough points by skipping work, they'll have to sleep on the street, and they won't even have enough points to buy food, hot water, or electricity. Zhang Yi looked at their receding backs and couldn't help but think of the slogan they were chanting. Could it be that Gao Changkong? Bai Li Changqing nodded. Yes, it's him. The name Gao Changkong was almost a household name in the Huashu Kingdom. He wasn't exactly a top celebrity, but an extremely talented basketball player. He first became the dominant force in his home country, and then entered the NBA, playing for the Red Sun of Chi City as a small forward for 12 years, and also has 3 championship rings. Zhang Yi turned his head and looked at Bai Li Changqing. Gao Changkong, is he the captain of the reincarnation squad? Bai Li Changqing nodded, and his eyes sparkled with the same light as the group of female fans just now. Yes. He is a very remarkable figure. Zhang Yi doesn't play basketball much, but he has heard of Gao Changkong's name. Basically, anyone who plays basketball is enthusiastic about Gao Changkong. Zhang Yi couldn't help but exclaim, isn't this the perfect winner in life? Both before and after the end of the world, he has been so outstanding and dazzling. Bai Li Changqing said, throughout Blizzard City, Gao Changkong is one of the most popular people. Although compared to the super-rich second-generation Deng Shintong, his background is relatively ordinary and he doesn't have as good of resources, his influence among ordinary people is probably even greater. Zhang Yi is not a fanboy either, so he can't really comment on anything. But come to think of it, these super sports superstars are naturally very strong in terms of physical fitness, so it's not very surprising that they are a little stronger after the mutation. The further they went towards Dongqing Square, the more congested the roads became. It was hard to imagine Blizzard City after the end of the world. However, Zhang Yi could see the excited and expectant eyes of fans everywhere. His ears were filled with people's praise for Gao Changkong and the reincarnation squad. He couldn't help but think that this enthusiasm might be related to the failed siege of Eclipse Moon. The Blizzard City executives may even be deliberately promoting this kind of thing as a way to offset the dissatisfaction in the hearts of the people. Upon the car drove to the city gate, and Zhang Yi finally saw the reincarnation squad. The doors of the 2 snowmobiles behind the device opened, and several team members stood by the doors, cheering and waving to the outside. A Blizzard City staff member unfurled a large red banner that hung from the 30-meter-high wall of Blizzard City to the ground. Congratulations to the reincarnation squad on their expedition to Biting Lake and their triumphant return. On both sides of the road were countless enthusiastic fans cheering and shouting their names. Naturally, the name that was shouted the most was Gao Changkong's. Zhang Yi and the others pulled over to the side of the road, and Bai Li Changqing told him that they could not continue any further. This was the reincarnation squad's home turf, and they had to keep a low profile and not steal the show. Oh, Zhang Yi responded indifferently, but he didn't see Gao Changkong's figure, so he must not have gotten out of the car. In a moment, he saw a few familiar figures. Tu Yunlai, the Minister of Operations, and several high-ranking officials beside him. After these people appeared, Gao Changkong finally got off the car. He is tall, with an official height of 1.96 meters. Zhang Yi surveyed him, and this person had a gentle smile on his face, looking very sunny. He is built and has always maintained a good workout, and has not easily gained weight after retirement as is common with most football players. His naturally curly hair hangs naturally, adding a bit of a West Coast style. Gao Changkong's appearance inevitably caused another round of screams and cheers.